Hello everyone and welcome to Friday. Today we're going to be talking about the Roomba because last Wednesday, we got it for Christmas, but we brought it over here last Wednesday and started using it for the first time. So now we have spent 1 week with Roomba, who is named Roomhouse, for whatever reason. So it resides back here. It just chills in that spot. We decided to put it there. But after having used it for a week, we figured that we could probably talk a little more accurately about it and what it does. So, this is going to be for that purpose. Now, for the record, we have the pet model.
650? 660?
Something like that. 650 or 660 pet. It's... I know that when we did that first video, you can go back and watch that video, put a card on screen so you can go see it. It seems really random. Like, it doesn't vacuum like a human would vacuum. It kind of just does its own thing. It just like zigzags all over the place and runs into walls. And a week later, it still does that. It still does that. But the question is, has it been cleaning the floors and keeping them cleaner than they would have been had we not been using the Roomba? And the answer is yes. Like, it definitely works, but I don't think it could ever fully replace vacuuming.
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of the big takeaway here is like, when you vacuum, you have complete control over what you're doing. You have like a hose attachment, which is probably the biggest thing. It's like, the Roomba is round. And if you have a hose, you can run the hose like along the wall or whatever. Roomba can't do that, you know. Roomba gets most of the room.
It has a side brush, but I mean, it's only on one side of it.
Yeah, and like, one of the things I noticed that whenever it goes into the cat's bathroom, with that side brush thing is that like there's litter on the floor because the cats get in the litter box, they jump out and some of the litter comes out. And it does a really great job in there. Admittedly, it does. But if you sit there and watch it, the little side brush will spin and like hit the litter out of the way. And it gets a lot of it, but the ones whatever it doesn't get, it hits like to the edge of the wall where it then can't pick it up. So in that respect, like, and that room has got tile, so if it's like a hardwood thing, that's something to consider. I think Roomba would probably do best on carpet. Do you think that, or do you think it would do best on hardwood? I'm not sure, but we have, obviously, yeah, we have wood in here, and then some wood-ish.
It's fake wood.
Fake wood and some rugs, and it's been doing pretty good, admittedly. Now, we've been a little paranoid about the wires, so every time we run it, generally I run it in the mornings, and what I do is I just push the chairs in, and then it can't even get under there. Now, as a result, under there is still gross, but like I said, it's not going to replace vacuuming. But if you run it every single day, and then, once every 2 to 4 weeks, you use a vacuum with a hose attachment and get some of the stuff it missed, you're going to do a lot less vacuuming, And one of the things that we had a problem with is we only vacuumed like once a month. We vacuumed because we did D&D, and whenever company was going to come over, that's when we would vacuum. And that meant that every time we weren't vacuuming, like through that month, there would be like tumbleweeds of cat hair, And you could just pick them up and throw them away, but it's still kind of gross. And since running the Roomba every day, we have not had any of that. And that's nice. Like, it's actually doing, like, I mean, every once in a while you look down and you'll be like, okay, Roomba missed a spot. But if it misses a spot one day, it'll probably get it the next, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, how have you felt about it?
I think it's done better than, if we didn't use it.
Good observation, good observation. I mean,
you notice a difference looking at our floors.
Yeah, even my parents had stopped by, and I mean, my dad, whenever we're on vacation or anything, he comes over and watches the cats, and he knows what the apartment looks like, and he said, your place looks a lot better, because there is normally a lot of cat hair around, and it does a good job with that. Like I said, it's still very random, kind of bounces all over the place. I don't think it could ever completely replace vacuuming, but if you were like us and you don't vacuum, you vacuum like once a month or once every 2 weeks, just running that thing every single day is super helpful. So, and you can schedule it too. The only thing, we don't schedule it just for the fact that my schedule is like always crazy, and I don't know when I'm going to need to run it. And also, I want to be here to push the chairs in because I have a feeling that if Roomba ran over some of the wires,
that might not be good.
Yeah, I think the wires would be tore up. But yeah, honestly, I like the little thing. It's one of those gadgets that like you don't really need, but once you have it, you're like, oh man, this is actually really nice. And certainly our floors would be a lot filthier than if we didn't have it. And the maintenance on it is remained very easy.
As long as we keep up with the maintenance, I think. Because if you don't, then all the hair gets stuck in the bristles and it gets worse and worse.
Yeah, you need to empty the thing out every time or two you run it. And then and I think it's like every 3 times is when they recommend cleaning out the bristles and stuff. So there is some maintenance, but also that's crap that you're supposed to be doing to a regular vacuum cleaner that just nobody does. So...
Well, it's hard to take the rollers off a regular vacuum cleaner.
Well, that's why they don't do it. Is because it's painful. And at least on here it's easy. You just flip it upside...
Snap.
Yeah, you flip it upside down, they pop right out. It has a really handy tool that you just slide down it.
It's like a circle comb, you just shove the bristle brush in.
Yeah, so the cleaning it's not that difficult. And I mean, one of the things I noticed is that after a few days, it was picking up less hair because there was less hair to get, you know. So it was doing a really good job picking it up because that first time we ran it, it was gross.
Yeah.
The second day was gross too, and then the third day was when it was like, oh wow, there's a lot less to get. And then over time, now it's getting about the same amount every day, and I think I'm most amazed that the cats
shed that much
in a day.
And
Having 2 cats is like a big deal.
You realized you wished you would have vacuumed more than once a month before this.
Yeah, because when you think about it, if they're making that much hair a day, I mean, imagine that multiplied times 31. Like, it's an obscene amount of hair, you know? And I'm just glad that Roomba's around now to take care of it. So for anyone out there who's considering a Roomba, the takeaway I would say is what I said at the beginning of the video. It's not going to replace vacuuming, but it will keep your place a lot nicer. The only thing you need to keep in mind is like if you have cables and stuff laying around, you don't want that, or clothes laying around. Like we don't let it into our bedroom because we just have like crap laying everywhere and we don't want it to eat it. Otherwise, I think that's about it. Maybe if you had curtains.
Like long curtains.
Like long curtains that came to the floor, that would be an issue.
It's not fond of our floor-to-ceiling blinds here.
Yeah, but it doesn't eat them though.
Yeah, because they're plastic and they hang above the floor.
Yeah, but it like runs into them and is confused. But it's convenient. You hit the button, it cleans for like 20-30 minutes, and then it attempts to find its dock again. It's been successful probably about 3/4 of the time. There's been a few days where it just couldn't find it and
our
gave up.
dock is like kind of behind the couch. And
yeah.
If it's in the kitchen, it can't find it, and if it's out front here, it can't find it.
Yeah, after a while, it says, you know, I'm trying to find the dock, and like the little light for the dock flashes, and then it gives that a shot for like I think 5 or 6 minutes, and then if it can't find it at that point, it just goes blah, 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 and then just stops. But most of the time, it has found the dock. So, yeah, Roomba's cool, and I'm glad that we have one now because it has kept everything cleaner. If you have any particular questions about the Roomba.
If you want a Roomba demo, how we clean it.
If you have any questions, you can ask in the comments and we'll see if we can answer any of them. Also, I shot a bonus clip that you guys might be interested in. I just attached the GoPro to the Roomba and let it clean most of the house. It didn't get to the bathroom, but I turned it off because we were trying to watch a show, and the Roomba makes some noise, so it was a little loud and we couldn't hear the show, so I turned it off. But if you want to see like a time-lapse video of that, you can click the card. It's also probably the next video uploaded, so you can check that out. I don't know if you've just ever really wanted to see a Roomba go in fast motion. There you are. Anyway, that's it for today. Thank you so much for watching. And as always, let's meet back tomorrow, shall we?